I recently purchased one of these bad boys right here. This is the DJI NEO 2. This thing has been super fun to play with, but one of the most complained about things has been the battery life. So I picked up a higher capacity battery from AliExpress, and today we're gonna be checking it out and seeing if it's worth the money. So like I said, I bought the battery from AliExpress and it took about 29 days to arrive. I paid 83 bucks compared to about 50 bucks or so for the OEM here in the US. And yes, it is an actual OEM battery. It's just modified with a bigger 3300 milliamp hour battery compared to the OEM's 1606 milliamp hour battery. And that's just about double the capacity, but we will see how that plays out in our real world test here in just a moment. First thing I did was pop the battery in the NEO 2, and as expected, it treated it just like every other battery, and the firmware updated just fine. Throwing it on the scale, we can see the OEM battery weighs 1.6 ounces. The high capacity battery comes in at 2.9 ounces, and that's an added weight of 1.3 ounces. I also wanted to make sure it was simultaneously charged with the OEM batteries, and after switching over to a 100-watt charger, we're good to go. But now, let's get to business and see how the battery life really stacks up. For the first test, we're going to start off with a fresh battery. We're going to put this in the drone. And we are going to hover indoors for as long as we can. And we'll repeat the process after this with the higher capacity battery. All right, so this is the indoor test with the OEM battery. I let the drone hover without touching any of the controls until it force landed with around 10% battery life. And the OEM battery lasted 12 minutes. And that's pretty much on par with what I've come to expect since I've had the NEO 2. But now let's see how well the high capacity battery can do with the same test. All right, guys, so here is the high capacity battery. Go ahead and put that in there, fire her up. And time for takeoff. Okay, so this is the indoor test with the high capacity battery. Basically, same thing as last time. I let the drone do its thing until it force landed with around 10% battery remaining. The high capacity battery lasted 18 minutes and 15 seconds. And that's 6 minutes and 15 seconds longer than the OEM battery. I don't know about you, but I was pretty happy with these results. Now let's take the NEO 2 outside and see how well it handles the wind and higher altitudes. This is the outdoor test for the OEM battery. I tried to maintain the same speeds for both tests and flew at various altitudes all the way up to its max altitude of 400 feet. At 10% battery, the NEO 2 force landed after 10 minutes and 52 seconds of flight. And honestly, that was a bit surprising just because I feel like I've typically gotten slightly more time than that. But I think it might have been a touch more windy during this test, so maybe that played a factor. But now, let's see how well the high capacity battery did with the same test. This is the outdoor test with the high capacity battery. And once again, same speeds, same altitudes, and at 10% battery life, the NEO 2 force landed after 17 minutes and 45 seconds. That's an additional 6 minutes and 53 seconds of flight over the OEM battery. And just like the indoor test, I'm pretty happy with the results from the high capacity battery. As I'm sure you guys can tell, I think the high capacity battery is definitely worth the money. 6 or 7 minutes of extra flight time can really make a difference. I have no affiliation with the seller, but I'll drop the link down in the description box for anybody who's interested. Thank you guys for checking out the video. I'll see you on the next one.